everybody, this is Jennifer with Holiday Inn.
Oh, I'm Jonathan.
And today's Candid Canine is all about our lodging services. So we've had a great summer. Really excited about all the new people and pets that we've met. It's been very exciting. It's been very full. And some of the questions that we've received from first-time users of our services is the question about whether or not their dog is going to do well in a kennel environment. Lodging services aren't for everybody, but certainly that is always a concern if somebody's never boarded their dog before. So John, what do you think when people ask you that question? Will my dog do well? Should I bring my dog in beforehand to see how he or she will do in the environment? What's your general take on that?
Well, I mean, it really just depends on the dog in general. It really depends on if you've ever socialized your dog. So that means, like, have you ever taken your dog outside of your home? Does your dog spend a lot of time on the couch, or does he spend every last minute in the passenger side of your car going from point A to point B, and so on and so forth? Another thing to take into account too whenever looking into lodging your pet would be, is your dog a special needs dog? Is your dog on any sort of medicine, insulin? We do have a lot of diabetic dogs, or some diabetic dogs. And those are dogs that might need time to come in maybe for a couple days prior to boarding.
Exactly.
Just to get acclimated with our facility, with our staff, and our dogs as well.
A lot of new smells.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a lot different than sitting at home on the couch. We're sitting at grandma's house in grandpa's lap or something. In here, as you can hear in the background, there's dogs barking, very rarely, but at times dogs do bark.
Sure.
And like Jennifer just stated, the smells. It's not like home where the smells are always the same. And as you guys have all probably witnessed before, when you go to a friend's house and they have a dog, and then you come home and your dog is all up and down you, and it's just very, very interested and intrigued on all the new smells. So that right there is a good indication that being here, there is just a lot going on, even if it's very calm.
Exactly.
Or even if we are very slow. Once again, this is not home. It's a completely new environment. Whether your dog participates in doggy daycare or not, it's a completely new world for your dogs. So with all that being said, it really just depends on the personality of your dog.
Exactly.
If you are very concerned, you're more than welcome to bring in your dog for a half-day daycare or multiple daycare visits. Right. Prior to dropping off, we really don't have any problems with that. No. At the same time, I don't strongly encourage it always, because majority of dogs do fine, especially puppies and younger dogs. Normally the dogs who have far less experience being at home or being on the couch for multiple years while everybody's gone. Right. The puppies really do well for the most part because their brain is so new, and they're very interested in a lot of new things.
They don't have the same kind of consistency in their schedule yet like older dogs.
Exactly.
Dogs that have had that experience of being in their own environment for long periods of time.
Right.
Or dogs that are at home with somebody at home with them.
Exactly.
Going out, going in, going out, going in.
It is a completely new environment, and we do also have a lot of questions. What does my dog do all day? Well, I mean, looking back at this is a new world. Your dog does not need to be in a daycare environment for longer than a couple hours at a time. Now, clearly, we do have dogs that are well socialized, or like our regular daycare clients who do come for lodging.
Right.
They definitely have the endurance to be in daycare for longer amounts of times. But once again, if your dog is used to sleeping on the couch, your dog doesn't need to be outside for 2 or 3 hours, especially with the weather being as hot as it is. Your dog does not need to spend longer than a couple hours, because at home, your dog probably doesn't spend longer than a couple hours outside.
Exactly.
And so we definitely try to minimize how stressed dogs are, and leaving your dog outside for extended periods of times where your dog might be used to sitting inside on top of the air conditioning vent. Right. That definitely can create some stress, and we want to minimize that as well.
So in all fairness, the more communication, the more details, the more information we can be provided about your pet, the better we can care for it.
Exactly, right.
And the idea of, is this a good environment? Well, I guarantee that everybody here is going to do everything they can to make it a good environment.
Right.
And so the more honest communication we can have with our clientele, the better experience it can be for your family.
Right, because we don't want to be a type facility where every time you pick up your pet was great, even if your pet had a terrible time.
Exactly.
Because that's when you start building a reoccurrence of dogs are going home stressed, dogs are going home sick, and then every time your dog comes back, it's going to be leaving with those same symptoms.
Exactly.
And we don't want that consistency here.
No.
We want happy, healthy dogs. Now, we do still take in dogs, special needs dogs, dogs with medical issues. But just like Jennifer just stated, we really need to know, what does your dog do all day, especially with your special needs dogs, dogs that are a lot more sensitive to their environment. We definitely need to take that into account before you do lodge your pet with us or use any of our services.
Exactly.
We do take a lot of pride in being very, very, very small time, but even with being as small as we are, some dogs really have a rough time making the transition.
Right.
And so we want to just make sure that we're being honest with our clients,
Yes.
and in return, our clients are being honest with us.
Right.
I've had lovely dogs come into our care before, and I've noticed some unwanted behaviors, or in my house would be considered unwanted behaviors. For example, like possession over toys, water, stuff like that, where the clients never really informed us that their dogs had any of these behavioral issues, but then I've seen it amongst the group, or even with our employees, or even myself included. And then when bringing that up to the parents, like, oh yeah, we just forgot to mention that though. Mm-hmm. So even with that, with that little behavioral issue right there, I mean, that can really, cause a red flag for us. It really can.
Absolutely.
And so any weird thing that your dog does at home, or any positive thing your dog does at home, if your dog comes home and is happy to see you, let us know that. Or if your dog likes to jump on people, when it greets them, I mean, definitely let us know that. That's not really a big issue for us.
No.
But we want to make sure, if you're trying to curtail it, we're going to curtail it, because
Absolutely.
we do not want to promote any unwanted behaviors here that you don't want at home.
And that goes from poop eating
Right.
to escape artist, knows how to open doors.
To housebreaking and potty training.
Absolutely.
The list definitely goes on and on.
Right.
But once again, we do want to make sure that everybody is honest in the situation, because we don't want our staff getting hurt. That is clear. Right. We don't want any of your dogs getting hurt in our care, or even you guys as our clients and just passing by, just stopping in every now and again. We want to make sure that everybody is healthy, happy, and that we're, we can give everybody the top-notch care that they really deserve.
And now that we've had a full summer after being open for a year,
right.
We've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about the care that's required. We learned a lot about how we can help our staff do the best job possible, and we learned a lot about the things that we really need from our clients in order to make this place continue to be successful.
Right.
So we're thrilled. We're excited. We look forward to many more years.
Oh yeah. Busy moments and some slow moments.
Exactly.
Some slow moments would be definitely appreciated right about now.
Yeah, it's been a very busy time, but
right.
That's great. And as we head into the fall, things are going to change. Obviously, people aren't going to be traveling as much, but at the same time, your pets still need some care.
Right.
So this is a great time to start thinking about, as the kids go back to school or as your schedule changes, what's your dog going to do all day?
Right.
And what better thing to do than bring them here for daycare, especially if they need the exercise and the attention and so forth.
Well, and like I try to tell a lot of people too, I mean, it's not like, it's not like a marketing ploy to say, hey, your dog needs to come here 5 days a week for full days. I mean, I don't want to see that, because I want you guys as owners to realize, hey, my dog, he's just really hyper when we come home, and now that the kids are back in school, nobody can walk him like they should. I mean, just bring your dog in, even if it's twice a week for a half days.
Right.
It's very cost efficient. I mean, we don't charge an arm and a leg. And B, when you take your dog home for that first day and your dog sleeps all night, you're going to remember that peace and quiet. And majority of clients really want to see that at least just a couple days a week.
Right.
And some of our clients really utilize that. I mean, we have dogs that have been coming in for 1 or 2 days this week because their family's going to the Monroe County Fair, for example, and they just want a tired dog, so that way they don't feel like exercising the dog when they get home. They can just put them up and they can go enjoy their night.
And it's a guilt-free experience.
Exactly.
Everybody's happy.
Right.
Your dog's had a great experience.
Right.
It's got not only its body worked out, it's got its mind worked out, because that's what we're about. We don't want to just focus on one part of your dog. We want to focus on all parts of your dogs in order to make them the healthiest and happiest they can possibly be.
Right.
So speaking of that, John and I are working on some things, and we look forward to sharing it with you on Facebook in regards to our daycare program.
Right.
So keep an eye out on us on Facebook. If you haven't, like us. You can find it on the website, which is kkholidayinn.com. That's howladayin.com. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.
Bye.